All right, guys, coming at you from the tent back here, the overflow section, overflow area here at the Playground Club. Tournament area back here, which can only mean one thing. We're playing a tournament. We are well into the 1K Turbo event, towards the end of the series here, the Party Poker Millions North America, deep into the action already. I think we're on level 13 or something. This is a turbo event, I need to mention. Half-hour levels, and the structure is a little bit faster, but things going pretty well so far. They started off pretty slowly. Interesting hand at the 6K, 12K level with a 12K ante on the button only. I open Ace King offsuit to 30K from under the gun and get 3 callers. 4 ways to a flop of Ace Queen 8 Rainbow. The blinds check and I bet 60K. Only the big blind makes the call. Heads up to a turn card, which is a 9, which puts up a backdoor flush draw on board. Checks it over to me, and I definitely want to keep betting here. Don't want to give any free cards, I don't think, even though it's possible that we could be behind now. Double gutter comes in, some 2 pairs available, but lots of pairs plus draws available as well. So I think a bet is in order here. So after he checks it, I bet 140K. He quickly snap check raises to about 400K. Don't see this player just making a move. I just go ahead and fold it pretty quickly, and sure enough, he shows me the Jack 10 offsuit. So double gutter, sure enough, comes in for him. Lose that one, and we get pretty short after that. So I look down at pocket jacks after there is a small stack shove from early position. I reshove. I only have maybe 12 blinds or so at this point. There's another call behind me, so could be kind of iffy, although he thought about it for a while. So when the hands are revealed, we're up against ace rag and pocket sixes. So in really good shape until my opponent flops a set of sixes. However, we turn a set of jacks. So a little bit of drama there, and we triple up there, or just about triple up. Shortly after that, in the 7K, 14K level, the 14K on the button, early position raised to 35K. I look down at pocket kings, make it 90K to go, and the player on my left goes ahead and jams all in. He's got about 600K, and when it folds back around to me, obviously making a snap call there, and we hold against ace jack. Skip way ahead to the 30K, 60K level, 60K ante on the button. Very interesting hand develops, maybe the hand of the tournament so far for me. I open up pocket queens under the gun, I make it 130K to go. Only the big blind makes the call. Heads up to a flop of Jack 9-6 with 2 diamonds, so pretty good flop, no overcards to the queens. He checks it, pretty standard bet. I bet 160K. He puts in a check raise. He makes it 410,000 to go. Lots of draws that he could have here. Obviously not folding here. Gonna see what happens, see what develops. So I go ahead and make the call. Turn is a very interesting card. It's a queen of diamonds. So we make top set here, but the front door flush comes in. Now it's gonna be pretty tough to get me out this hand. Since I obviously didn't have the queen of diamonds in my hand, if this was a different diamond, I might have to fold to some aggression. But now I'm just gonna let him do his thing. And when he bets 560K on the turn, I don't think it makes too much sense to do anything other than make the call, keep all of his bluffs in there, and not just, you know, get snapped off only by a flush. So that's what I do. I make the call, and river comes a brick, offsuit 4. He's got about 2 to 2.5 million, somewhere in that range left. After thinking about it for a little while, he goes ahead and jams it all in there. And I take a couple seconds to think about it, ask how much it is, but pretty much never folding here. So since he could potentially have some worse value hands, he could be doing this with a set, and obviously some other bluffs, since there were some other draws available on that flop. Could be doing that with a wide variety of hands. So I go ahead and call, expect to lose to a flush sometimes, but not this time, since my opponent shows 5-7 of spades. So flops the gutter and just keeps his foot on the gas the whole way. Like I said, if he didn't run into top set there, it might have worked out a little bit better for him, but not this time. So we're cruising right along here. Blinds will be going to 50K, 100K, and to be honest, I'm not even sure what my stack is. Someone was counting it down as we were going to break, which is a pretty good sign, since someone's taking an interest in it. Someone on the tournament reporting staff. We'll see what happens here. A lot of tournament left to be played. It's a turbo tournament, so yeah, things will be happening pretty quickly. So far, so good. Let's go. Let's get back to it. Alright guys, just wrapped up for the day, and spoiler alert, we made day 2. So that's good news. That's an achievement. Always an achievement in my book. 1 or 2 epic hands to report before we call it a day. First one, playing 40,000, 80,000, 80K on the button. Folds around to the big blind who opens for 170K. I'm in the big blind with queen 5 of clubs. Price is very good, and suited queen seems good enough to defend here. So I call. Flop comes down pretty favorable for that 5 queen of clubs. It comes 7-6-4 with 2 clubs. I check it over to him and he puts out a bet, and I'm definitely looking to check raise here, not looking to call down with queen high. So with all of the outs in the world, I go ahead and put in a check raise. I make it about 410 to go. My opponent has somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 2.5 million in his stack, and before thinking for too long, he goes with it, jams it all in there, and just gonna have to call and sweat it out on this one. So we reveal the hands, and it turns out we are up against 10-5 of spades. So things are looking pretty promising in this hand. Not too much to sweat after all. Turn is the queen, and river is the flush card. So that works out, to say the least. And shortly after that, there was another interesting hand in the same level. I open up pocket 5s from under the gun. There's a late position call, and the button puts in a 3-bet to about 700K. Folds back to me. We're pretty deep here. I'm not exactly sure how much, but I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 million. So I played a little bit with this player. I think I can get the maximum if I connect, and that being said, I go ahead and make the call. The other player folds behind me, so we are off to a flop heads up, which once again, find a favorable flop on a king 10-5 rainbow board. I check it over to my opponent, who bets 1 million, and with the board being so dry, and perhaps don't want to scare away pocket queens, pocket jacks, so I just flat call. Turn comes a jack, which puts up the second heart on the board, so not really my favorite card. I check it over to again, and once again she bets the same bet after thinking for a very long time, 1 million. She's got somewhere around 2 to 2.5 million behind in her stack. Since that bet is so small into this size pot, and since the board is so wet and connected now, I want to get it all in, or try to at least, try to get all the money in, because I don't want her to check back on the river, and I don't want any action killing cards to come on the river as well. So I jam it all in there, and without too much thought, she makes the call, and she has ace king. So we just need to fade a queen there, and we do. We fade the queen. Some run good throughout the entire day 1 here. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, hop in a taxi, head back downtown to the hotel, and then back to it tomorrow at noon for more tournament fun. See you then. Oh, and by the way, we bagged like 16 million in chips. We started with 1 million, now we have 16. All right, we'll put those 16 to use tomorrow, or we'll try to. We'll do our best. Alright guys, back at it for day 2. Just about to get underway here. Play's gonna start about 7 minutes from now. Managed to bag up 16 million in chips, as mentioned last night, which turns out is good for 4th place in this tournament at the moment. But there's a lot of play left to be had here. This is a turbo, so 30-minute levels. Anything can happen. Gonna try not to get too far ahead of myself before you know, we get down to it here. Lots of heroes, lots of serial killers still left in this event, in the field here, including Griffin Venger, who is on my direct right with the chip lead. So happy he's on my right, and just gonna see what happens. Gonna play our game. I'm not in the tournament anymore. I'm back in the hotel room now. Yeah, this is pretty much the worst feeling in the world when it comes to poker, at least. Yeah, went into today with 100 big blinds, and now I have 0 big blinds. And not only that, but I was the stone bubble boy, the actual bubble boy. Trying to put on a smile, because it's just a bunch, it's just absurd, even though it feels terrible. So yeah, I pretty much lost every hand that I played today. I lost with pocket 7s when early position player open jammed. Turns out he had king queen, and we lose that flip. I had Griffin Benger on my direct right, who was the tournament chip leader starting the day and is now still the tournament chip leader as of right now. I tried to mix it up with him a little bit. He was opening probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 60% of his hands. And so I tried to play a hand with ace-9 suited where I 3-bet him. And he called. Flop came like 8-7 deuce or something like that. And I feel like it's a flop where he's not going to give up that often. So I just decided to check it back. Turn, I think, didn't change too much. He bet out, made the call with ace high just to see what happens on the river. River brings a third heart and pairs the board. I guess he's going to have a lot of hands there on the turn that he's going to be semi-bluffing with. A lot of flush draws and straight draws. Maybe also some pairs he's value betting on the turn and then goes for more value on the river. So he bets on the river. Since I don't have any hearts in my hand, I let that one go. Could have folded the best hand there, but he's going to have the best hand some other portion of the time, some decent percentage of the time. And the last hand was just a total epic disaster. I mean, blinds go up every 30 minutes in this tournament. It's a turbo tournament. So when you're losing every hand and combine that with blinds going up every 30 minutes, went from very healthy stack to 30 big blinds. And we're on the exact bubble. And once again, Griffin Benger opens. I look down an ace-king, and I don't think I want to 3-bet it because I really don't want to face a 4-bet versus the chip leader and being on the bubble, be forced to make a decision and either be flipping or crushed or who knows what. So I just flatted, and the big blind calls as well. And the flop came about as dry as possible. Jack, 3-3, rainbow. Big blind checks, Griffin bet. I called since Griffin shouldn't improve here too often. He's going to be c-betting. Huge range there. So I called, the big blind folds. Turn is an 8. Doesn't change too much, although it puts some straight draw potential up on board. So when he bets again, it's a little bit of a decision because he could turn a lot of equity there. He could have a hand like 9-10 for the open-ender plus lots of gut shots that can pick up equity, and I also need to fold a decent percentage of my hands facing 2 barrels, but ace-king I think still rates to be pretty good versus that sort of a range. So I called again. River's an offsuit ace. He jams. Once it gets to that point, he can be using that card for some, you know, scare card potential, and he could even be value betting a worse hand. But I don't think I have too much choice once it gets to that point. I think that's an easy decision to call there on the river, but certainly could have 3-bet, and it probably would have folded out the 5-3 offsuit that Griffin opened up with in that hand. But I called down, and that's going to knock me out of the tournament on the exact bubble. So that's about as gross as it gets to go into the day as 4th in chips, to have everything go against me, and probably could have played some hands better for sure. And now we're back in the hotel room. Now it's back to editing videos and getting after it the next time, I guess. What else is there to say, really? Just thankful for the opportunity. Had a awesome time here in Montreal regardless. You know, I ran like God that first day, and then I guess it always balances out. You know, it's hard to run like God for an entire tournament. I certainly have some things to learn still, so that contributes for sure. As a poker player, it stings pretty badly. As a human being, it obviously stings, but could be in much worse positions. Our first official bubble on the vlog. Will there be more to come? I hope not. All right. Thanks for watching, as always. See you guys at the next tournament. Can't wait.